Hello and welcome back, everybody, to round 3 of the MTG Paper Legacy Discord's Tuesday Fight Night. I'm PresBTW, joined here below by Oliver V, and this day has been great so far.
Y'all, can I just tell you, I'm so sorry about this last round because we have readers.deck against readers.deck. The amount of cards that I need to go over just to make sure I understand how they work is most of the cards, I'll be totally honest. We have Cool Guy on Ruby Storm, really recently updated with Bergie to make it incredibly valid. It's been taking down some recent challenges, kind of doing well in the MTGO meta. And then we have Pain Cow with the classic, the one and only Mono Blue Martyr.
Yeah, so Mono Blue Martyr is a legendary deck. In particular, round 3 of one of the SCG events for Legacy. It was Greg Hatch versus Chris Kapika, and it was a Mud versus Mono Blue Martyr matchup. And it's just the biggest value pile of weird cards you could ever see. And it's just such a legendary match. And the deck is very, very popular, at least in the kingdom of memes. So it's very good. The deck can win actually quite a bit, but it's very specifically based around a value engine using Aether Vial, using Martyr of Frost, and particularly Sky Hussar to draw cards. It's a wild deck.
So, of note, for those who don't know, the way that we decide who plays in a fight night is everyone submits. We use a randomizer to pull out people who have submitted valid deck lists. And then from there, we kind of place people based off of if, for instance, people can only play round one, they'll of course get locked there. But then we randomize everyone else, right? Make sure the matchups are as random as possible. Pain Cow, playing a mono red combo deck, is going up,
Cool guy,
unfortunately. I'm sorry.
cool guys on mono red combo.
Wait.
Pain cows on mono blue.
Oh, that's so right. I'm so sorry. I am switching up who is doing what. Yes, thank you so much. Cool Guy,
Ooh,
really unfortunately, is going up against a 4 Force Negation, 4 Force of Will, Flusterstorm main board deck.
yeah. And of note, the reason why there are 12 counter spells of that nature in there is exactly because of this card, Nivmagus Elemental. So Nivmagus Elemental. Oh wow, what a good card to get. My goodness. Defense grid.
Oh, and the dazed be able to get rid of that. That defense grid, of course, going to turn off essentially all the counter magic from Pain Cow going forward for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You're able to, of course, pay for it like Flusterstorm for 4 mana or Force of Will alternate cost and pay 3. But it's just exactly what this deck wants to be doing in terms of turning off the opponent's permission.
Yeah. Metamorphose. So we'll see here. So we're going to filter through here for red, draw a card. So Ruby Storm is a deck that is based around the power of Ruby Medallions specifically to make the cards cost less. And of note here, oh, we're getting a hard cast light up the stage. This is rough. Well, there's an Ancient Tomb and a Lotus Petal, so I'd imagine we're probably going to play both of those. But the thing about Ruby Storm specifically is that it's designed to basically play wheels. It's designed to try and ramp spells, and then it makes an absolutely monstrous amount of mana. It used to play bonus round to copy all of your ritual effects. Now it plays Bergie, which just makes an absolute crap ton of mana.
Of note, it does look like Cool Guy is still on a bonus round version of the deck. From my understanding, and again, this is only through content creators, is the two versions of the deck really alternate between being a Lion's Eye Diamond deck, which of course Cool Guy's deck is not, or a bonus round version of the deck.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh,
and it looks
Hazoret's
like Cool
Undying
Guy is
Fury.
electing to still be on the bonus round version. I will leave that up to the Ruby Storm players to decide which is better. It all
Yeah.
looks the same to me, I'll be honest.
Personally, I love the Ruby Store or the bonus round version of the deck. The amount of value you get is absolutely disgusting. Here we go, Sky Hussar. Let's go. So Sky Hussar has the ability called Forecast, which is during your upkeep, you can tap two untapped creatures you control and reveal Sky Hussar from your hand. If you do, draw a card. And so, yeah, we are taking turns off. We have two judges familiar now. This is actually going to potentially make things go pretty hard unless we get like a miracle to reforge the soul here. Ruby Medallion. Okay.
If this resolves, that's huge in terms of setting up what Cool Guy needs going forward.
Yeah,
But yeah, we are if this resolves, we do need to see a wheel effect for Cool Guy really to be able to start going off through all of Pain Cow's permission.
yeah. So that
Snapback.
snapback. Oh my goodness. Love it.
You may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Wait,
Yeah.
was that snapback?
No, that was I'm pretty sure maybe it wasn't. Is that an alternate art chain of vapor?
It must be because it bounced the ruby medallion back, right?
Yeah. It
Snapback
the
only able
name
to
looks
creatures.
long. The art is very similar to Snapback, but I don't think that is Snapback.
No, it definitely isn't if it bounced that ruby medallion.
Yeah. So it looks like we just got a land there. We did Sky Hussar, and now we're crunching in for one with the Magus Elemental. So here we go, City of Traders. Casting the Ruby Medallion again. We're gonna need a Force of Will here, or something, or a Force of Negation. So here we go. Bonus round, we going. We going.
We're trying to at least.
Yeah.
So bonus round, while it's 3 CMC, is actually getting discounted by the ruby medallion to just be a 2 CMC spell, 2 red.
Yeah.
And
Casting Lotus Petal, response spell stutter sprite on the Lotus Petal. Oh my goodness.
I like that. It establishes another body that's able to be spent on the forecast. It also you're not going to get a bunch of different spells that you're able to hit when you only have the single spell stutter sprite, right? It's kind of just the lotus petals and the rite of flames is the only potential hits.
Yeah. So I'm curious as to what this card is, though.
It's got to be a wheel. Or no,
Oh,
it's
it's a
light up
light up
the
the
stage, but you
stage.
get
This is bad.
but also you get to copy it. So this is going 4 cards deep now on exile.
Yeah.
Bonus
Bonus
round,
round.
rite of
Rite of
flame.
Flame. Oh, that was not good. Oh, it looks like there's still one floating. The question is if that one floating is red or if it's colorless. Nope, it's colorless. That's
Oh
it.
no.
That's bad. Oh my goodness. Countering that Lotus Petal was huge. Sky Hussar. Reveal second Sky Hussar. We are drawing cards. So Cow is drawing 3 cards a turn right now. This is amazing.
And in a
Also,
deck with someone's permission, right? Like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter that Pain Cow isn't clocking because he's just drawing more Flusterstorms, more Force of Wills, more Force Negations, and at a certain point, he can choose to finally turn the tide or turn the corner and start going.
Arrayo's Essence. Oh my goodness. Or this is an Arrayo's Origami Ascendant. That's so nuts.
Uh,
Oh my
whenever
goodness.
whenever the 4th spell of a turn is played, flip Ryo. It is then an enchantment that's legendary to counter the first spell.
Played by each opponent each
Oh
turn.
my god. Sorry, I can't read upside down. I struggle with that, it turns out.
Yeah. So this is hilarious though. So the hilarious part about this is that whenever it's the 4th spell of a turn is cast. So if Cool Guy casts a bunch of spells, so this is the second turn or second spell already, right? So if there's 2 more spells cast this entire turn, then this Arrayo is gonna flip, which is gonna make starting for Cool Guy very difficult. Force of Will, pitch Sky Hussar. This is
3
totally
spells.
fine. Of note, Mono Blue Martyr cannot actually cast a Sky Hussar. Uh, if they want to play the Sky Hussar, you have to get an Aether Vial up to 5.
Yeah, that's not what it's there for. It is not going to be beating in. It is a draw card engine.
Yeah, and this flips to Arrayo's Essence. So there's the Bergie. Oh no, this is bad. This is really bad. If that card in hand is not a mountain, to play the Bergie right now, it's going to be so difficult for Cool Guy to get going.
Yeah, the bonus round is going to be lost. That's not going to remain in, or that is no longer going to be castable after this turn. However,
Yeah,
the Bergie is still potentially usable, and same with this other Ruby Medallion on the next turn as well.
yeah. Cast the Ruby Medallion now.
And put
Exiles the
away
bonus
that
round.
bonus round.
Yeah. Upkeep. Reveals 2 more Sky Hussars. So he had 3 in hand for Paincow there. Wow. Draw a card. This is ridiculous amounts of card advantage.
And now you have this active Arrayo, right?
Arrayo's Essence, yeah, is absolutely horrendous. Uh Mausoleum Wanderer. I love this. So this is basically like mono blue weenies. And then oh, I like that a lot. Wasteland on the Ancient Tomb. Just because that again, the colorless spells aren't really going to matter. And this is the other thing too: is Cool Guy has to get through this Arrayo's Essence before anything else can happen. So if those are two lands in Cool Guy's hand, this Bergie is gone. Yeah, Doc, this is the Greg Hatch. Well, an updated list of Mono Blue Martyr. The video is from before Mono's Mausoleum Wanderer was a printed card. It's an old video, but it's still the same deck. Cast Seething Song gets countered. Cast Bergie, I would imagine here.
Do you cast it as the Bergie or the Horn?
Oh, casting it as the Horn. Interesting.
Makes sense in that the Horn is one of the card advantage engines. Um, you're able to discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you can play those cards this turn.
Yeah.
You don't
Cast
really
Force
need.
and Negation hard cast.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oof.
Well, that would not have happened if we'd cast the Berkey, but it makes sense to go ahead and try to play the Horn in this situation, especially when we
Yeah.
already have 3 Ruby medallions.
Yeah. And I really like tapping the Mausoleum Wanderer here. This Magus Elemental is how you're going to kill your opponent. So the thought process behind this is that eventually you'll be able to go cast a spell, cast a spell, cast a spell, cast like a Brainstorm or a Ponder, and then you flush a Storm it making like 10, 5 or 6 or 7 copies of it, and then you exile all the copies of Flusterstorm to make the Magus Elemental hit for like 13 damage. Untap. This Arrayo's Essence doing work, and it looks like he's actually switching it up now. So he's gonna just start coming in with the Wanderer, it looks like. Man, this is nuts, drawing 3 cards a turn.
It does feel like we're getting to the point where
Oh,
we do just want to start pressuring, though. Like,
yeah.
just end the game at this point.
I actually like this given that there's multiple Mausoleum Wanderers here. And then that's another one.
Attack
So,
for 3.
yeah, hilariously, um, of note right now, uh, Pain Cow has the ability to sacrifice creatures to make Cool Guy pay 5 mana to counter a spell. So Mono Blue Martyr is basically Mono Blue aggro.counterspells.deck. Is
This
basically
really
how it works. Judges Familiars, Mausoleum Wanderers, Spellstutter Sprites, as you said, the full suite of forces, full Flusterstorms, Arrayo's Essence, that's and then also Martyr of Frost itself. You know, the namesake card of the deck.
So Pain Cow has 7 attackers on the battlefield now. Of course, they're all 1 power. But I do wonder if on this next turn, if you have any spell that you're able to cast and just eat automatically with the Nivnagus Elemental, for instance, just oh, there is no Brainstorm in this deck, is there? Wow.
No.
So literally
Um
the only thing you could have is Snapback because everything else is counter spells. Okay, never mind. I guess we do still draw cards with
yeah.
the Court Hussar. I was thinking
Yeah.
there was a way that we could establish lethal if we could just cast any spell from hand and eat it. But since they're all counter spells, that
Yeah.
is not doable unless there's something to target.
The hilarious part too that I just realized against a storm deck is you can actually go Flusterstorm, and then if there's 8 copies of Flusterstorm or 15 copies of Flusterstorm on the stack, and then they go, sure, it's countered. The first one resolves, counters the spell, and then the Magus Elemental eats all the rest of them, and then you have a 20 power creature.
Yeah, definitely. Niv Magus Elemental, the pseudo original for Skyward Magecraft, and able to pay off of the storm cards. I remember the good old days of casting, oh, what is it? Ground Riff. The 1 mana red sorcery with storm that target creature without flying can't block. Just to
Yeah,
pump up that Niv Magus Elemental.
yeah. That card plays very, very nicely with storm cards. So looks like we're in main phase now.
Uh, Jam other
Judge is
1 drop
familiar.
body. Okay.
Yep. Which of note counters spells.
Don't they all at this point? Oh, Daze. Dazing your own Judge's Familiar. Looks like going to
Interesting.
eat the Daze. Oh, is this... what's going on? Is this a
So this is
force
pay
mitigation?
3. I'd imagine this is going to be a force negation.
Are we setting up a Flusterstorm line that's trying
Actually,
to just
can you
kill?
force a negation? I can't remember force a negation. No, it's counter target non-creature spell. It doesn't specify an opponent. Force a negation on the days.
And then
I'd
show me
imagine
Flusterstorm.
we're still holding priority, and then this is going to be a Flusterstorm. Yes, cast Flusterstorm, target force a negation with all of them. This is going to be
Storm
three
is
copies of them.
3,
So
yeah.
this is 3, 4, 5, 6 spells in the stack. So this Magus Elemental is going to become a 13/13 here.
Well, this
Of
is all you
note,
need.
hilariously, Magus Elemental also being playable in the Ruby Storm deck if they so chose.
Technically playable, yes, you could cast
Technically
it in the deck.
playable. Yeah, 12/1/1 counters. The Judge's Familiar is still going to resolve. I absolutely love that we actually got to see the way that the Flusterstorm lines work in this deck. It's very good. Smash in for a lot. That Judge's
That
Familiar
Judge
should
Familiar
be
can't
summoning
attack.
sick.
That thing cannot attack, but that does not matter.
No.
Everything else is more than lethal, and we are going to game 2. We really got to
Oh
see
my
exactly
gosh.
why this is a concerning matchup for Cool Guy. Cool Guy really needs to jam early and kind of get that like turn 2 combo off that Ruby Storm can do before Pain Cow is able to just get that massive Court Hussar card advantage engine going and just have answers upon answers upon answers. You want to jump into sideboards quick, Prez?
Yeah, for sure. So in Cool Guy's sideboard, we have one copy of Chain Lightning, one Shattering Spree, two copies of Surgical Extraction, two Grape Shot, another copy of Bonus Round, one Anarchy, one Empty the Warrens, one Fiery Confluence, one Past in Flames, one Tendrils of Agony, one Reforged the Soul, and then two copies of Chandra Awakened Inferno. Oh my gosh.
So looking at this, of course, this is a Burning Wish sideboard plan, right? That's why we see so many one ofs. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Grape Shot come in. You're able to still Burning Wish for it. I also really like Chandra's Awakened Inferno. There
Absolutely.
you cannot rely on just comboing off in this matchup assen- because of all the permission, right? The multiple forces, the multiple flusterstorms and dazes. But Chandra's Awakened Inferno allows you to kind of jam through the counter magic. Of course, it cannot be countered. And then also, of note, it has a wrath effect that hits almost all the creatures, except for, I believe, the what
It's
is it? The
non-elemental, so it won't hit the Div Magus, but it'll hit everything else.
Yep, exactly. And that is the only elemental in the deck, I believe. Just checking, yeah, that is. So it seems like the Chandra is a really clear lock-in to be bringing in. And again, I do think you can afford to bring in a single grape shot as well. But what do you think?
I agree with all of that. However, I also like Fiery Confluence in the main. Yeah, you won't be able to wish for it, but the ability to just wrath your opponent's board 3 times is really good.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's interesting to see. This is the fascinating part of wish boards is deciding whether or not you bring them in or you
Yeah.
just keep them in the main deck. Let's jump over
Also,
to Mono Blue Martyr. Oh, I'm
one
sorry.
other
Go
thing
ahead.
as well, I just want to mention, given how prolific Mono Blue Martyr as a deck is, specifically the Sky Hussars, if anyone's ever seen that before, you know there are Aether Vials. And so those Aether Vials are something you could keep in mind as well in terms of Fiery Confluence if you wanted to try the Destroy an Artifact mode.
Very true. So cool. I'm sorry. Pain Cow sideboard has quite a number of readers again, not just the main deck, also on the sideboard. There is one Ivory Tower. There is two Piracy Charm, two Pithy Needle, two Relic of Progenitus, one Spell Setter Sprite, two Umezawa's Jite, two Back to Basics, and three Submerges. Um, Here's my question: what do you bring in? Anything? What do you like?
I actually really like Ivory Tower in this deck. It comes down early enough, and the thing is that in a scenario like we had last game, where you can kind of establish a bit of control there, you will gain so much life that it's almost impossible for the storm to kill you because you're gaining 7 to 8, 9 life a turn.
Maybe, yeah. I've seen this deck definitely get to insane amounts of storm. You kind of generate enough mana that just getting to 30 isn't always that relevant. Of
No,
course,
but like
there's definitely hands where it does. But if you're right, over a long game, an early Ivory Tower that gets you up to like 40 and 50 is a massive pain in the back. Do you think Pithing Needle comes in all, namely against the Horn, the backside of Burgi?
I could see that as well. I actually also like the Relic of Progenitus, if for no other reason than it hits the Rite of Flame. But
Oh, that's
oh,
true.
Martyr of Frost, here's the namesake card. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's about it. There's not too much you'd bring in, but I don't mind it. I could also see bringing in a spell stutter spray too, but defense grid again. And this is the fastest counterspell Pain Cow will play this whole match. If he has one in hand.
Well, Pink Cow is unable to daze here, right? So it does need to be a force effect.
Yeah. Force a negation. Good one.
Pitching is that chain or is that
that is
snapback?
actual snapback.
Okay, sounds good. So snapback is still in, which is interesting because that does seem to be one of the cards that's able to be taken out.
I actually like it against Bergie itself.
So
Being
that's
able to
yeah,
bounce a
that's the one
Bergie
target, right?
mid storm is really good. Attack for 2, and this Martyr of Frost will counter pretty much anything. There are 4 cards in hand, making Cool Guy potentially have to pay up to, I want to say it's it's 2 mana to activate and then pay X. So potentially having to pay up to 4 mana to resolve a spell through this. Yeah, 4 cards in hand. Casting Manamorphose, 1 mana floating.
Of course, naming
Interesting.
double red here.
Well, provided it resolves, which it does.
Erda, thank you
Draws
for
a
joining us
card.
tonight. How are you doing today? Storm
Oh,
count is
1.
1. I thought
And
that was
2
storm
red
count
in
for a second.
pool.
Nope.
Oh, actually, that is 1 colorless and 2 red floating in pool.
Yep.
And then it looks like Pain Cow grabbed the Storm Dice. Of note, Cool Guy might not be trying to combo this turn. He might just be going, but at the same time, depending on what the draws are, you could potentially draw into something that allows you to start coming off right away. Looks like it was just a... Oh, no, not passing back yet. Deep in the tank. Which I don't blame you. There's so much counter magic in this mono blue martyr deck. So much. Surgical extraction targeting force and negation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
What I really
And
like about this is being able to check Pain Cow's hand, right? So this is
yeah,
also a peak effect to a certain extent.
just cast the spell stutter spray. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go.
Well,
Storm is. We got 3 mana open. Cast Lotus Petal. Storm is 4. Hmm.
can you continue
Interesting.
to go off from here with how few cards Cool Guy has in hand? No, okay.
There's pay 3. And then cast Seething
Oh,
Song. We are going.
okay.
Storm is 5, but we are down to no mana left. So if there's another counter spell in hand, this is probably the end of the turn. Pain Cow thinking on this one.
And we see the
Force
other
pitch
force.
Arreo. I actually think that's fine. Arreo is not super phenomenal in this matchup, but that is still a lot of cards gone for Cool Guy now. That's super unfortunate. So I bet you if you're in Cool Guy spot, you want to Reforge the Soul next. And yep, pass the turn back. So this is 2 games in a row now where Pink has managed to fizzle Cool Guy. Smash for 2.
And of course, not having to spend the Martyr on the previous turn means that it is active again to deal with whatever Cool Guy attempts to do on the subsequent turn.
Yeah, that being said though, if both cards in hand for Pink Cow are blue, which I imagine they are given that Pink Cow has not played a land in a couple turns, I imagine that we'll have to be very cognizant of how much things cost. Because if we just try and jam a Bergie here, it's probably going to get countered by the Martyr.
I mean, kind of anything was just it runs the threat of that. Defense
Yeah,
grid.
defense grid. So of note, this actually playing the defense grid will be able to counter the Martyr of Frost. Pass back. So now this Martyr of Frost is super important. Super, super important, given that this Martyr of Frost is able to get through the defense grid.
No,
But
Pink
this is
also gets the land there. So also Force of Will is castable now. You can alternate costs and pay the 3 through the defense grid.
that is true.
The Resolve Defense Grid feels very good. Of course, the only way for Pain Cow to be able to deal with that is the Chain of Vapor. We
Yeah.
believe the Chain of Vapor was not pitched, right? We think that was the snapback that we saw
Snapback
against
was
Fishaway.
pitched, yeah.
Okay.
Pay 2, it looks like. Oh, no, just pass back. So we are on the Anemic Beats clock. Smash. Night Bloom, thank you very much for the follow. Glad you could join us tonight. Smashing in for 2, cast Judge's Familiar. Okay. We going. So this Judge's Familiar is technically taking a couple turns off the clock here. Also, Cool Guy's at 11. Like, this is not insignificant amounts of damage being dealt here now.
No, it's not. Right now, there is a 4-turn clock established.
Yeah. And actually, the thing that's interesting is that if you get, or if you have a Sky Hussar in hand, do you start Hussaring or do you continue to pressure?
I would say pressure at this point.
I think that's probably correct, especially given that the defense grid turns your counter magic off. You want Cool Guy dead as fast as possible. Pay 3, casts Bergie. Okay. Also, still leaving 2 mana up for the Martyr of Frost. And also of note, Judge's Familiar is not able to counter Bergie, as Bergie is a creature.
On this side, at the very least. That is not a horn.
Yeah. Well, Judge's Familiar only hits instant and sorcery anyway. So,
Oh, perfect then.
yeah. And of note, Bergie actually turning off the one Judge's Familiar this whole time. And I actually like pitching this Martyr of Frost here just because it takes up the rest of the turn functionally for Cool Guy. Because this means that he has to burn the rest of his mana on this Bergie in order to keep it alive. Revealing Spellstarter Sprite and Flusterstorm in hand too. That is huge. If there's another land off the top, that Flusterstorm is live. Yeah, pays for the Bergie. So he's going to end the turn here. Um, of note as well. Actually, I think that's the other thing too, is that you're probably okay chucking the Martyr there because the Martyr won't be able to attack through the Bergie anyway. Spellstutter Sprite, and then gets it in now. And then this is also contributing to the clock as well. Cool Guy is at 9. Apple
Apple
Pies, thank you
pies.
very much for the follow. Thanks so
Ooh,
much, everybody, for joining us today.
this Ancient Tomb is interesting because you can't tap it too much.
No.
Yeah, I guess you have a single tap of it
Yeah.
before it actually takes, or before it actually changes the amount of turns that it will take to clock.
Yeah. Cast Seething Song, trigger Bergie. So this is interesting because this is going to make an extra mana for the Bergie here. So we're up to 6 red now.
And Cool Guy knows that he's just able to go off as much as possible here. So at this point, you Pain Cow is F6'd. Jessica's Will. Which mode are we choosing on Jessica's Will here?
That is a very good question.
I imagine it's exile the top 3 at this point.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. You have so much extra mana.
That's a horn and and a burning wish.
Oh goodness. Okay. This is some pretty good stuff that Cool Guy wanted to see. That is for sure. That being said, that bonus round is not super phenomenal at the moment, just because that taking up the mana, and also Cool Guy's on 1 card in hand, and that's kind of one of the problems here. And getting those 3 cards off of Jessica's Will, unfortunately, doesn't really set you up that well for continuing to go off this turn.
No, Cool Guy really needed mana sources there. Needed like the additional
Well, the Ancient
the,
Tomb came down that same turn, but
no, but
needed
I mean needs more
rituals.
well, yeah, needs more ritual effects here. Mana is definitely the part where Cool Guy is choked at the moment. You're gonna
Yeah.
see a burning wish. Aren't
So
there?
if you notice there on the way that Cool Guy had the mana there, he pays 2 to cast the Burning Wish and then gets a mana back from Bergie. Bergie makes a mana for every spell you cast, which is very good in a Storm deck, especially Ruby Storm, given that Ruby Storm is trying to get the advantage that way. And Ruby Storm is also very similar to High Tide by virtue of it's a Storm deck that is able to go like, 20, 30 Storm deep in a turn.
So,
It's
of note, if there is a Rite of Flame in the graveyard, you can go ahead and get the Passive Flames right here. Spend the 3 that you have in the pool and the 1 mountain. Cast the Rite of Flame. I'm sorry, cast the Pass and Flames. Oh, but no, we're
oh,
getting Light Up the Stage
light up the
instead.
stage. Ooh, this is not what you want to see. Spends the rest of the mana, gets Bergie, casts light up the stage. Oh, there's a seething. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's exactly what we wanted to hit.
Those were exactly what he needed. Oh my goodness. Rite of Flame, let's go. Make a bunch of mana. We are up to 3 now. Spend 1, get 2, get 1. Yeah, 3. This will cast Seething Song, put him back up to 6. Now, that being said, we have a lot of mana again. Do we have anything to do with it?
Well, there's Horn,
Yeah.
but
How
unfortunately,
much is Horn to cast?
it is 4.
It's 5, actually.
Oh, is it 5?
It's 5, which is
Oh, that's
actually kind of a big issue.
that is huge. It turns out that first I did think there was a
Yeah.
Rite of Flame that we had already seen this game, but unfortunately we have not. We're seeing the Horn come down.
Yeah. Up to 2 mana. And then I imagine he's going to discard this last card in hand to exile the top 2 and just hope it's fine. You're kind of so deep in. Fire Blast. Oh, ha, with bonus round. That's hilarious. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Because
no.
bonus
Hits
round
2
copies other
lands.
bonus rounds. That's such an unfortunate brick, though. Oh no. But, yeah, you can see Cool Guy just like, oh.
I don't believe
But
there's a way out of it at this point.
no. And looks like it's I'll it's crash for 3. I like it. um yeah, that is very unfortunate. However, for those who don't know, the reason why bonus round is so hilarious is because if you cast a bonus round, the next bonus round you cast gets doubled as well. So it goes first bonus round, every spell makes 2. Second bonus round, every spell makes 4. And then the third bonus round, every spell makes 9. So if you do that and then you fire blast your opponent 9 times for 4 damage each, that's a lot of damage.
We are seeing a forecast here to draw an extra card.
Yeah,
Did
which I
not
like
find the
that.
additional land,
Yeah,
so the Flusterstorm is still not live, but you need runners here. I imagine we
yeah,
discard this and just hope to kind of go off.
yeah. And I actually don't mind this right now. Like, there's so much nothing going on. Discards Rite of Flame to get the horn going. Oh no. Ooh. Plays the Ancient Tomb. Pays
In
2, cast
Manamorphose, net 1 mana.
Metamorphose.
Manamorphose
Yeah,
actually seems really good here. So it's producing mana because of the Berkey. You also get to draw another card to discard to the Horn.
yeah.
Pain Cow tanking here. I wonder if there's a Force of Will that Pain Cow was able to get out of those 2 cards that were just drawn.
Possibly. Yeah, Force of Will.
Yep,
Pitch the Sky Hussar. I like that a lot. The Sky
A3.
Hussar is not doing any value. You are on a 2-turn clock now. Because at seven damage, I actually absolutely agree with Sky Hussaring there. Because that you're not gonna get the 3-turn clock anyway, so get the 1 damage to put him on a 2-turn clock, then it's fine to pitch it to the Force of Will. Smash for 3 with the Bergie. Coming in, draw a card.
And if it's land off the top here, swing for 3.
Then yeah, if it's land off the top, I think this is locked up. Man, this match has been very interesting. I can also say too, just giving Pain Cow credit, Pain Cow's placement of what spells to counter this match have been phenomenal. Like countering the Lotus Petal in game one, like oh man, just those little things of specifically which spells to counter have worked out very very well in Pain Cow's favor.
Absolutely, and props to Cool Guy as well. Cool Guy has definitely been sequencing well, kind of finding the correct place to jam the defense grid through in this game too, in a way that was going to be getting around days. Just recognizing that you're up against a deck that is Force of Will deck.
Yeah, yeah. The amount of counter magic out of Mono Blue Martyr is honestly disgusting. Like there's so much. Actually, let me just double check here. We got 4, 7, 11, 12, 15, and 15, 19, 23, 23, 27. We have 31 cards in the main deck that read counter target spell somewhere on the card.
This is what we call a combo killer,
31
okay? Of
cards that say counter target spell.
course, all of them to varying degrees. Not all of them are Force of Will. Some of them are Judge's Familiars. But when you have that many, you get this critical mass where it's just the card that you don't want to resolve isn't going to happen.
Yeah. Chain of Vapor Spell Stutter Sprite back to hand. Huh. Oh, sacrificing a land bounces the defense grid. Oh my goodness. And then this will allow Pain Cow to counter the spells or counter the defense grid on the way back down. Oh,
This is good sequencing. An
yeah,
interesting line to take.
yeah. Looks like he just let it happen because I think if you fire back with the other spell stutter sprite, then that's something you have to worry about. But oof, pay two. I imagine you're just gonna go to one, cast the defense grid here anyway, and then this is probably just gonna get spell stutter sprited. Yeah, absolutely. Cast spell stutter sprite. I have two fairies. Counter it.
So what is this last card drawn another Force of Will? That's the one place where it makes this line really do something, right? Is this
Discard
next?
mountain. Get burning with seething song. So this is not the worst.
Well, the unfortunate thing is you cannot cast this Seething Song.
Yeah, you're unfortunately one mana short.
Just
That
because this
is
Ancient
very
Tomb is
sad.
not usable.
No.
Oh wait, how did we get one mana floating?
From the defense grid, hilariously.
Oh, so there is. So you do. That's interesting. Choosing not to play the Seething Song because we did actually have the mana for it, right?
Yeah.
The one floating and the two red. Huh. Interesting.
So we're still gonna have one red in pool after this. So what are we getting here?
Is that tendrils?
No, that is not Tendrils of Agony. At least I
I don't
don't
know these new
believe it is.
Japanese arts.
Out of sideboard. Is that Fiery Confluence? No. Oh no, that's Grape Shot. Oh! Oh, we're grape shotting to kill all the little creatures. Oh my goodness. Hilariously though, I think given that the amount of mana that is left up, oh no, there's still one mana left in pool, so you can even pay for the Judge's Familiar. Oh no.
Well, of course. And the Judge's Familiar is the reason why we couldn't go for the Seething Song line there.
That's true, actually. Yeah, the Judge's Familiar would have turned off the seething song. Oh man, this sequencing from Cool Guy is phenomenal. This is still a really rough place to be in, though. At one life with two Ancient Tombs out. Yep, and Grape Shot's gonna get there. Wow.
All right, let's see the crunch in with Bergie. Bergie
Yeah.
eats all the way. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Down to 8. Oh my gosh. That being said, though, we still have to be very, very careful here. If there's a flash threat out of Pain Cow's hand, so with the horn, is it until the end of your next turn? Okay, yeah, no. So the Seething Song is exiled. Okay. Smash for 3, down to 5. Is Bergie Beat's gonna get there?
The only flash threats, of course, being
Oh, Spell
the
Stutter
spell
Sprite at
sprite.
instant speed.
The third and last spell setter sprite, exactly what is needed. The only flash spell that is able to come in and punish here, and
Smash
that's
for
it.
1. Exactsies. Discard Rite of Flame. Check the top 2. Are one of these a Fire Blast? No. Oh my goodness. That was phenomenal. What a well played match by both players. Holy cow.
What a fantastic ending for that too, right? The one
Oh my
flash threat that
gosh.
can punish Cool Guy there, the only two CMC one left, the third spell spreader sprite. The Brazen Bar was just uncastable because we were locked to those two lands. Really
Yep.
fantastic game for us to
Ooh,
get to watch for
GTAs
sure.
came in. That's interesting.
Yeah, that
I
is.
actually don't mind it given the amount of pressure that's here. Plus, being able to shoot a Berkey is very powerful.
Well, you need 3 activations on it, right? You need 3 charge counters, but that definitely is something that's relevant. We're
Yeah,
not seeing the Ivory Charm that we were hoping was gonna be coming in, and of course, no Pithing Needles either.
yeah,
Um, yeah, really fantastic game across
that was
the entire
awesome.
time. Prez, it was fantastic to get to commentate with you tonight. For everyone who is watching our stream, thank you so much. Again, we are the MTG Paper Legacy Discord. If you want to join us and get involved in all of the MTG Paper Legacy action, you can go ahead and do !Discord. Come and join us. We have our league signups starting for the month of June. You can get in and jam some games against your league pool. Or against your pool of players. We have our weekly tournaments. We have these fight nights and a really active LFG. Prez, before we get out of here, you got anything to say to the people?
No, but if you're looking for a way to get into starting to play on the Discord, I would highly recommend getting in using the league. The league is a very laid back way to go. It's not like you have to commit 5, 6 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday in order to play in an event. It's a very nice, low stress way to get into learning or getting used to playing over webcam. So I'd highly recommend anyone who's interested in it signs up for that. So definitely do that. Otherwise, we will see you guys again on Saturday for the weekly challenge there. And until next time, let us be your local meta.
Take care, y'all.